Welcome to the HFT Stocks and Options Commentary. I'm Paulo Navarro. Today is Wednesday, June 26, 2013. For the Volatility Index, the dollar-weighted put-call ratio on the VIX, we have a bearish reading on July, August, and September, and the important ones were July with 33% of the total premiums paid and August with 56% of the total premiums paid. Overall, we have a bearish dollar-weighted put-call ratio here today on the VIX also. Let's go to the charts here. We have SPX. Daily chart for SPX. We have a bounce. Yesterday we talked about being bullish and looking for a bounce to the 1620 level. I continue to think we're going there. That's 17 handles away from here. That's going to be the 50-day moving average and a pretty important level here to see if we break up that again above that level. So that's what I'm looking here so far on the short term. And if we do break, I would be looking for a new high on the SPX for the year, an all-time high. If we fail there, that could be a very interesting point to get short and trade it to the previous low or the 100-day moving average. So that's what I'm looking here short term. Going to the Qs. We talked about preferring to being on an SPY than Qs or IWM. Here you can see the Qs up almost a percent. Also going up higher. We talked about 7180 as the next target. IWM, here we have it. Testing the 50-day moving average yesterday, and what we could see here today, we are failing to close above that level. We are lagging here today on the small caps at only 0.47%. And closing basically at the 50-day moving average. Very important day tomorrow. If we see we're gonna go higher or we're gonna fail here at this level, this could be your going to be your leading indicator for the market. If you wanna be long, I would prefer to be doing it via SPY as I mentioned yesterday. GLD. Here we have the daily chart for GLD down 4.2% for the day. We talked about yesterday about the 120 level as our next target. Here you can see we broke that level. Now 118 and on heavy volume. I don't like catching a knife here, but I do think gold is about to find a bottom and maybe start dipping your toe via options. But that on increments as we go lower. I do not think we will break the 115 on GLD. So I'm getting neutral to bullish here on the precious metal. For silver, pretty much the same outlook, down 5.4. We were looking for 18. We broke that level today on heavy volume. I think we're looking for finding a bottom here. Short term, I would play for a bounce here. I would not think, I think the downside is over mostly. And I would like to play the upside via gold and not silver. Going to stocks, here we have the Apple chart for today. We were down 1.13 for the day. You remember here we're talking about being slightly bearish short term to come and test the April 19 low of 385. That's what I'm looking so far. I continue to have that bias there, getting long in that around that level. Google, we talked about being bullish yesterday. I am bullish on Google. Bouncing off that 50-day moving average, I think this could be a very nice entry point for Google, looking for 900 as our next level. Netflix, we were bearish. We have a bounce today, and then we sold off here. We were up on the day, and you could see this bearish formation. We're failing at the 50-day moving average. I have a target of 200 on the short term. That's what I would like to play it to the upside. That's what I'm looking so far. Let's look at some banks here. We have JP Morgan up today. Pretty nice day here for the bank, bouncing off the 50-day. Nothing bad here. Citi also up today, 1.3% for the day. And we are below that 50-day. I would not trade it bullish before the 50-day. And the bank that I like the most here would be Goldman Sachs. I would trade Goldman to the upside once we break the 50-day moving average. I would not trade it bullish before that. That's what I'm looking so far here on the today's charts.